So today at Urban Homesteads of Compton, I'm going to make some fresh rolls and uh, pesto, vegan pesto. Um, that's the rice papers that I use. And one thing that I wanted to say before I get started is that being as poor as I am, um, I'm not someone who gets to like eat out at restaurants a lot. Like growing up in foster homes and stuff, I didn't like hardly ever get to eat out at restaurants. So when I did, I always like really paid attention to what I was eating, to the ingredients of it, to think like, can I make this myself at home? Because I'm not gonna be able to go out to eat all the time and stuff. So yeah, fresh rolls is something that is like a really easy go-to for me. Um, I A lot of people like grow basil because they want to have like tomatoes and basil and pesto, but I'm all about the fresh rolls. That's why I grow basil. Um, and kind of like another funny thing that I wanted to say about this is that I was just thinking the other day how uh they say that when you're like on the other side before you're born that you get to like choose your family and who you're like where you're gonna be born and stuff like that. And I imagine how it went for me was that I was like, well, who has the best food? Because I'm like a big time foodie. Um, like I think well, we had a couple of things to say about that actually, but I was like, on the other side before I was born, and they were like, "Where do you want to be born to? What country?" And I was like, "Who's got the best food?" And then they were like, "Well, Thailand has some really good food. Like you probably like Thailand, but then they're like, ooh, but also like Greek people have some really good food. Like you might like them." And they're like, wait, but American food. In America, you can get all the foods. You can get, you can go to a Thai restaurant or a Greek restaurant in America. And so I was like, bingo, that's the one. Like, send me there. And so that's how I end up in this messed up country. Not that there are many countries that aren't all messed up right now. That's my theory on that. Um, so further on the subject of food, I guess it's like Ramadan right now. And honestly, like my stomach would beat my ass if I tried to do Ramadan, if I tried to starve it. Like my stomach has a personality of its own. And sometimes it speaks in full sentences. So my stomach told me one day when I was reading something about there was like an article that was like, are aliens already here? And talking about like alien microbes and stuff like that. And it got me thinking about like when I was in my biology class, I one of the projects that I did, I like took a bunch of pictures of like the different bacteria and parasites and stuff that were in water. So I mean, you might believe in aliens after you seen that, like what's in the water. Like all those dudes got to do is like grow up one day. But anyway, I was like thinking about that, and I swear to God, my stomach said, it said, if aliens ever come to Earth, they're not even going to talk to humans. They're going to talk to your stomachs. And they were like, because your stomachs are really the ones that run things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like my stomach is right about that. Like, like all day, every day, humans are driven by food. You like wake up in the morning and you're hungry and you want breakfast, and then you got lunch, and then you got dinner. And if you're somebody that has to like make your own food, like you spend a lot of the day just like preparing and eating food and then like recovering, sometimes you gotta take a little like recovery nap after you eat and stuff like that. Like a lot of our life is food. And also, if you think about like the drugs and stuff that people take, you're ingesting it into your mouth and then you're having this experience where like you might have a little conversation with the aliens in space and stuff. Like, maybe the aliens are already here and they're communicating with us through our guts. So I don't know. I think there might be something to that. I think my gut might be right. My gut, whenever I get cocky and think that I'm the boss, my gut will put me in my place. Like this thing, if I don't feed it when it wants food, it will like drop me to the ground in agony, anger, pain. Like, like I am my gut's bitch, basically. That's like what I do is serve, you know. Like if I don't, I had to before I could even start preparing this, I had to like eat something really quick just because it was getting angry. Like I don't want to wait for you to make food. You better feed me right now. And this isn't a meal that like takes very long to make, but anyway, I think it will be happy. I spoil my gut. Like that's one thing that I'm poor, but I like to eat good. I don't like to eat unhealthy food. I've always been that way. When I was a kid, I was like my great grandpa reminded me of Popeye. Um, and so I was always someone that was like, eating my vegetables, eating my spinach and stuff. Um, there was like an ad on TV with some little kid that was like, ew, spinach. And I was or, like, ew, Brussels sprouts is what it was. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like, they're trying to brainwash these kids not to like food that is totally dank. Like, I freaking love Brussels sprouts. So, anyways, I thought that was kind of a funny thing. With, and these bread rolls, we're gonna have some carrots, some cucumber, some avocado, the basil, a little bit of these sweet peppers, and tofu, which I'm gonna fry in banana sauce and plum sauce. Oh, and I should tell you guys that the rat hasn't tried to come back inside. Um, I haven't quite like rigged up like a permanent solution for under the dishwasher yet, but if the rat had tried to get in, then the cardboard would be moved. So it either got too scared to come back here, or like it just like isn't trying because it can't see anymore because I've blocked out all the light. But the rat has not been back. All of these scraps go into my compost bins outside. Um, I made a video previously about how I do my compost here. Fortunately, like living in the area that I do, I mean, there's like wild animals that can get into the area, but like I have a tall fence with like houses surrounding all the way around mine. Um, so I've gotten like possums and stuff like that, but I don't really have to worry about bears. Um, so I let the compost kind of like decompose in bins for a couple of months before I dump it into the pile where it is able to like, get more like rain and direct sunlight and stuff like that hitting it. And to do this a lot faster because I'm getting hangry again before I know it. Like eating little pieces of carrots, I can feel my stomach's like, especially because my stomach knows that it's about to get some fresh rolls and it likes those, so it's like hurry up. What are you doing? Bitch, need to work. I don't know who's the abuser in the relationship because sometimes like because sometimes I just like won't eat and I'll like take a nap or something and it's like my stomach will be crying like a starved child. Mm. And my stomach's like, if I wasn't dependent on you. No, man. The bowl. Kind of awkward to cook with this like shawl thing on, but I feel like my skin looks like really pale in this camera, and my arms were just like this white glowing like there isn't an option on here to like um change like the tones and stuff to correct it. So like I don't know what I'm doing yet with all this uh, filming stuff. So this isn't a show for rich people who want to learn how to do like, you know, truffle souffle or whatever the fuck, this is a show for poor people who just want to get some inspiration. Like, what am I gonna do tonight? What am I gonna eat? With most of this stuff, I'm probably gonna make you look up your own recipes because I don't really use recipes. Like I've been making this peanut sauce for so many years that it's just like a little bit of this, 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 like taste it, does it taste right? Like add some more of this, like that's how I cook. Uh, I have to put this little bag on the top because if I don't, then in the summertime when the gnats start trying to come in the house and stuff, they'll like all want to hang out around the lid of the vinegar bottle. Just have this like little teeny tiny Ziploc bag that goes on there. All right. So most of the wedges are done. Um, the side. Away real quick. He might see if he's like seen my Facebook that I have a lot of travel photos. Um, I was in the army then, and I've seen people complain like, how come she gets disability and she got to do all this travel and stuff? And it's like, I was in the army when I was traveling, you guys. Calm down. Um, but anyway, when I was traveling, I didn't really like eat out, but I mean, I ate. I tried to eat as much as I could traveling, like, 'cause I like to experience all the food, but like a lot of time we would just get like a baguette and some cheese, and like a jug of wine, and that was like our food for the day while we were traveling. On a budget. Tell you those cheap jugs of wine. Oh my gosh. You know, I've had some expensive wines in my life because, you know, I dated a guy whose parents would go wine tasting and stuff like that. And there is nothing like in Greece. You could be driving out in the middle of freaking nowhere and there'd be like a little farm stand and they would have like jugs of wine, like cheap, you know, like $5 jug of wine. It'd be the best wine you've ever had in your life. Like the wine that I had in Italy did not compare at all to like the cheapest of like those jug wines that we would get from the farm stands. Okay, so where are we at now? I'll just get that. Trying not to get this shallow in my food. Like, I'm gonna watch this and y'all like, you look so gross. I've never eaten anything that she ever made. Most of the people who have eaten my food are looking to 40 care. No, I touched it with my hands and my shawl got on the cutting board for a second. You know, I don't know any rich people. I've never done like. Well, okay, let's lie. When I was in Japan, I dated a guy who was a billionaire. God, he was obnoxious. Like this guy, I wanted to cook for him once, and so we went to the grocery store, and he told me that he had never been to a grocery store before in his life before this. And he would always eat at this really fancy place called Kai. And he ate there every single night. That was like his spot. And I was like, I'm gonna cook something for you. And ugh, he started having a panic attack over like the fact that he was missing a night eating at Kai. Like he felt like he was doing some like poor people shit. You know, he was like getting all upset. And I was like, oh my gosh, calm down. Like, I'll be ready. Like, dinner was gonna be quick because I was just making some, like, it was like a broccoli pesto kind of thing. And, he got so mad that he started threatening that he was gonna, have his, like, security people kill me. And I was like, dude, if you try to like fight me, if you try to start some shit like that, then start it right now. Like, you don't gotta call nobody. I'll whoop your ass. You don't gotta call nobody. So that relationship didn't work out. You know, I was like, we've been eating at Kaya every night. Let me cook something. Like, stop. Anyway. Oh, okay. Honestly, I was like not attracted to him. There were some fun ass dudes in Japan. Oh my God, there were some fine ass dudes. But like he wasn't really one of them. But like um the place I was staying, Kamojiso in Naha, he would go to the bar down below the hostel and he would be like asking for me and stuff and this Japanese chick that worked at the bar was like, I think you should give him a chance because like he's really into you and um he's rich and so I was like hesitant, you know, like, oh, okay, I'll let this guy date me or whatever. And the date that we went on, the first date was like actually really cool because he took me out. There was like this spring that had my name, Kadeshi Spring, that I wouldn't have known about. Um, so he took me there on a motorcycle. He like rented a motorcycle. That was really cool. Went out there. Um, and like went to this like beach cafe and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, but basically this guy like all that he would do every day is like spend the day bar hopping because he said that he was so rich that he felt guilty like he had to just be like constantly spending money um to like give money to poor people, but he didn't want to just give money to poor people, so he wanted them to work for it, and so he just spent his day like splashing out on like expensive alcohol and stuff like that. And at first I was like, well, maybe I can like take this guy and transform him into somebody who's like really like helping the world with the money that he has. But he didn't want to be like that. Like he thought that he was like a gangster. He said he was like my family is bigger than the mafia. My family is bigger than the yakuza. Da, 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 like the stuff that he would say. Any of that's true, but yeah. Never have to worry about cutting myself because my knives aren't sharp enough. My knives are so old and worn out that I just like can't even cut myself with them. It's kind of awesome. It's all fun. Uh, a pro tip for the tofu is to freeze it and then defrost it before you use it. Um, because it just like makes all these little like micro holes when it expands when it freezes. And so then those make it so that the tofu can like absorb flavors better. It's some things that you should do, I think. Sorry if my like terrible German accent comes out sometimes. Just I'm not like trying to like mock other cultures when I like their accent just pops up out of nowhere. It's like literally just because I've lived in those places, and so like I got like that's how I got used to saying things, certain things. I don't know. I pick up on accents easily, and so yeah. Also, I don't care what you think, woke people, you suck. Like I am a liberal. I'm an LGBT out advocate. People when I was in the military said that I was the most liberal person that they had ever met, and now all of a sudden, these woke people are trying to act like I'm a conservative, and it's like most of them ain't even been around long enough to know what the hell they're talking about. They're just little babies. All right, going, keep going, keep going. It was difficult for me to get going today because I mean, wake up every morning and kind of have a look at the news so that I'm not like the only person who didn't hear about whatever school shooting just happened or whatever. And there's always these celebrities that are just like harassing me. And so, of course, this morning there was like more of that, and they're trying to push me to kill myself. So that's not pleasant. But at a point I just have to cut it off and get through my day because otherwise Now we get to eat delicious fresh rolls. I wasn't gonna talk about like politics and stuff like that here, but I might do a complete reversal on that one because the world is political. Food is political. Like, um, the fact that like all of my like urban homestead stuff has been like ripped off and people don't want to give me credit like oh you weren't on the specific social media platform that they were all using, so like none of the stuff that I've posted for years and years and years matters, you know and I have a stalker who like pushed everyone. I used to have thousands of friends from all over the world from when I was traveling. And the guy that stalks me started making fake profiles with their pictures and their names, and he would like write to them and just say like horrible things about me that he made up, to try and like push people out of my life to the point that I'm like totally isolated now. Like I grew up in foster homes, but I met people like all over the place, and it's a difficult thing as a woman, like even when you have a strong family and a strong support network, when a guy decides that he's going to do something like that to you, this country will just let him have you. The legal system does not have your back like you do. Like there's all these laws against stalking and all these civil rights laws and stuff like that, but if you're a poor person, you have no fucking rights. Like, unless you can afford a lawyer who is willing to take your case, you have no fucking rights in America. That's what I've discovered. So, yeah, I kind of lost everyone, not only because of like deep fake profiles and stuff, but because like this got it's beautiful. I want to grow lettuce like this. I just got tired of like telling everyone that I needed help and what was happening to me, and they just they just keep scrolling, you know, like they're so caught up in their scrolling addiction that like they see serious stuff happening and they are never it never occurs to them to like take action to advocate and like help that person. It's just like, part of the feed. Keep scrolling. Oh, everything's all fucked up, like things aren't going to get better unless people actually do something about it. But, like that's part of the reason that I went into the military when they got me originally. I mean, the main reason that I went in was because they told me nobody was going to pay for my college. There, look, make the peanuts off now. The main reason that I went in is because they weren't going to pay for my college. But then the other thing was that I noticed that I had been paying taxes since I was like, you know, 14 years old, lying about my age to have a job. But this country didn't represent me. It didn't represent my community. It like only represents like a specific class of people. And and so I thought, if I can't just like complain about it. If you want to change the government, you have to like be involved in the government. So that was another reason that I went in. And I actually went in with the plan to get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. Um, and I had told a lot of people that actually. So eventually I like wrote a letter to Higher Army telling them, that the that there were already gay people in service and that it was disrespectful to them as like tax-paying Americans to make them act like they don't count, you know. these are honorably serving American taxpayers. Um, so they are paying to have a voice in our government. Um, they're American citizens. This government should represent them. Um, and also, it was like interfering with our unit readiness and stuff like that. Because if we got an alert that the soldiers needed to report, within a couple of hours, and they're trying to track people down and stuff like that, the gay soldiers were obviously going to be hiding the fact that they were like at the gay club, hiding their boyfriend and their real life outside of the military. And so that meant that like you might not be able to track them down when you need to. Um, and also, um, we were having to like walk on eggshells to like not out people that we knew were gay in the unit. And it, like, it's like just like lying to the commander, like, little white lies here and there to protect your battle buddy because you're scared that the commander might be a bigot that's gonna kick them out. And yeah, so I wrote to Higher Army and I explained all of that. And right after that, they repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And I actually, like, to celebrate the repeal, the day that the order came out, I went and bought this like huge peanut butter and jelly cake that said "Another Victory for American Soldiers," and it had the date of the repeal on it. And I put the order like right next to it on the table, and I put a sign that said "Free Cake." And it was basically like lending me cake to all of the bigots who had like degraded gay people in service, LGBT, gay and lesbian people in service for so long. Like now it's their turn to eat it, after all that they put my community through. Um, I'm not like gay or lesbian. I probably hooked up with more women than a lot of dudes out there, but I wouldn't say that I'm bi. Um, I wouldn't say that I'm bi. It's like yeah, those are done. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like I think at this point, after I haven't been in any kind of a relationship or been on any kind of dates or anything in 10 years, that um you could probably say that I'm asexual. And I think that the reason that they actually like added asexual, the A to LGBT, um, was because of the fact that like growing up in Seattle and stuff, when I was a teenager, I would tell them that I was asexual all the time. Um, like I've been in relationships with both men and women, but I don't know, I'm just over it. The sauce. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, that's wonderful. I think I was using it for something else. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm kind of nervous to make this sauce on camera because it's like I've made it for so many years, but I'm not following our recipes. It's like I just start making it. Just start making it. It's fine. Oh, you want a lot of peanut butter? Did not buy brown sugar before this, so that kind of sucks because I forgot that I needed to get more. Hey, Echo, please add brown sugar to my shopping list.
I added brown sugar to your shopping list.
Gonna seem like really watery right now, but because it's got the just like coconut milk and peanut butter. Um, by tomorrow morning, like totally solid. Put it in this little yogurt container for now. See how this just sits perfectly in there? See what kind of stuff that happens when you're the dictator of the universe. I'm gonna be silly. I've made this so many times before that I know that was like exactly how much it would make. Yeah. I'm so lucky to have this flat top stove because like this kitchen is so tiny and like I would have no counter space to work on if I had like one of the regular iron stoves. Like I would not trade this. If did somebody offer me like a fancy, thousands of dollars um gas stove, hell no, I'm keeping this one. Hell no. Let me put some of this stuff away that I don't need anymore. My mom said that you should never store anything in the fridge in a can. I'll do that. The shot because that was really good. Oh. People try to make me feel so guilty for drinking, but like I was a soldier for 12 years. Like, you don't want to fucking act like I'm not an adult. And also, there's all these statues of Bacchus that look just like me. So obviously, in my past life, that was something that people loved about me. So you guys just suck. I confess that like I actually kind of hate cooking in front of the camera like this because like I want to put on some music and I can't because it'll get my video blocked. Been in the fridge for a week, so we're good. But I think they're good. No slime, no mold. Okay. I'm gonna save this container because that is a good little container that could grow a cracky lettuce or something. A lot of people I see like on their cooking shows and stuff, they'll just like stand under the sink with the water running to wash their produce. And not only does like your produce not get clean if you just like spray it with water, but you're just like wasting tons of water. So this is what I do. I like fill a bowl and you know, seal that gunk in there, dump that out, and then do it again. I'm actually kind of like paranoid about eating at restaurants because I find that like I find that I feel that a lot of people wake up in the morning, go to work, and they don't want to. They don't want to go to work. They want to stay in bed. They want to sleep in. You know, they want to work on themselves and their own little hustle, their own little projects and stuff, but they have to go to work. And so they're not always doing the best job with everything. Uh, and so you end up with situations like the time when my foster mother, after we got done doing like one of her charity things, we went out to oh gosh, Ivers um, in the Seattle waterfront, and she got like nasty sick food poisoning the next day. Um, and you know, it's just because people are taking shortcuts because they don't want to be there all day every day. They don't want to be doing it. So I'm like super paranoid about making sure that my own food is like thoroughly washed. Like I won't even buy lettuce from the store because I'm paranoid about how many hands it's been in. Like what was the whole like process of it getting like I bought this hydroponic lettuce because I'm sure like you know it was grown in one of these plugs and it was all indoors and then it went directly into this container and you know I know that this is okay but like buying like those bags of salad and stuff you don't know who processed that you know like that. Ugh, I get like so paranoid about that kind of stuff. So yeah, you probably get sick a lot less if you don't eat out as much. And especially like the rich people restaurants and stuff. I swear rich people pay for like the worst food and the worst service. Because those people who know that they're feeding the rich, they know that those rich people, like my one ex who had never been in a grocery store, you know, those rich people, they gotta eat, but they don't know where the food came from. They don't know the process that it went through. They don't know that you hate them. You know? I'm not trying to like bash all restaurants or anything like that, but a little bit sketchy. You should chop some garlic. Hi ho, lock and load. It is around, we're ready to go. What I should do is start singing some cadence. And that'll get me through it. I wonder if I'll get like copyright infringement for singing military cadence. All right. How much garlic? All of the garlic. What? How much basil? Ah, like all of this like brown and stuff on it. Like this gets bad really fast. And this was a perfect green leaf just yesterday when I harvested these. Um, so it's kind of like it's not worth it to buy basil at the store because it just turns on you like so quickly. I use the most prettiest ones for my fresh rolls. The rest of this will get blended. It's a mix of like five different types of basil. Hmm. There's like red Reuben, Thai basil, gin Louise, spicy globe. Can't remember. My back hurt always. I was watching the House of David last night on Amazon, and I forget what his name was, but the one that he was riding side saddle on the horse and like sitting forward with his legs out to the side, and I was thinking that's probably how I got fucking scoliosis from all my ancestors riding side saddle. A little bit of extra garlic because I feel like there's not enough garlic in the world and everything. Oh, 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 just a little bit of lemon. I have lemons, but I'm too lazy. That's what those are in now. Trying to come a little bit. Fortunately, I don't have any like vegan mozzarella to put in here, but what it is. Mm. Yeah, yeah. All right. Gonna go in the freezer for now. I gotta find the root for this one, maybe this one. I'm just going in the freezer for now until I get ready to have my pesto meal. Whenever, a couple days from now. Today is a nice day. Tomorrow. But you guys can see my glowing ass arms. I think about living in Tacoma also specifically, like I think I would struggle to live a lot of other places because like there's so many Asian markets around here, just like international markets and stuff where you can buy these kind of things. Because like when I lived in Germany, um, I would want to make like enchiladas and stuff like that, and like you couldn't even find beans. Like it was like you couldn't find beans, you couldn't find tortillas, like a lot of stuff like as far as cuisine goes that we really take for granted. Right. So this guy wet real quick in the water. Close to the water. Oh, move it up as fast as I can. Sock it really quick. Suck at this part, but you know, I'm doing my best. Then I'm just gonna make a little one real quick. Looks like it needs something, and then I'll make more. There's one. Woo, pretty. Yay. Okay. Eat this. I'm so hungry. Oh, I forgot that I had the lettuce to put in there too. Next time, next time. Yes. It's all summer. Like, like normally I grow a good amount of basil, but I didn't get that good of a harvest last year out of my garden. So I was like really bummed out because I didn't get to eat like tons of fresh rolls last year. And then I realized like dumb and idiot because I had mint and I could have used that. But this is something that like I love to eat like all summer long because it's just like refreshing. Um, so I'm stoked that I discovered the cracking method because I am going to be making tons of these this summer. Mm. Mm. Y'all, if I ever win the lottery, first thing I'm doing is booking a flight to Thailand to eat some real Thai food. Mm. It's gonna fall apart in this bite now. So probably gonna eat like one more of these, but I'm not gonna actually roll them all until tomorrow because like fresh rolls have to be fresh. Like this, the rice paper will get all hard. Um, they're just not as good if you leave them in the fridge overnight. But I've got everything prepped, and so tomorrow when I wake up and my stomach is like trying to kick my ass because it's hungry, I'm gonna be like, "I have your favorite food," and then maybe it'll be nice to meet you again. So yeah, that's the video. I mean, I made pesto, a big old batch of pesto, and I still have all this basil, you guys, and I still have like all these plants. I have tons of plants, basil plants. Like, every time I trim them back, they just grow in like even fuller and even bushier. So if you aren't doing the cracking method yet for growing basil, like y'all, this is March 1st. In Zone 8 in the Pacific Northwest in Tacoma. Like, get your shit together and start growing cracky basil. I showed you how in my previous video to start the seeds and everything. So get cracking. All right. Take care out there, you guys.